need today is your mat and warm clothes, if you want a blanket, and cushions to support you. Most of the practice will be lying down, but the first thing we're going to do is sitting up. So you want to have your back supported. Maybe you want to have a cushion underneath you so you can kind of sit your hips higher than your knees so that you're comfortable. Or maybe you want to lean against the back of a chair or a wall. So get yourself comfortable first and foremost. Okay, so we're just finding a comfortable position. Making sure that we feel supported. And we're going to begin, and we're just going to gently see and notice how we are right now. What is our preferred way to sit? We're going to take a minute to just listen. Whatever that listening is drawn to just listen. And allowing whatever is in your awareness, be it sound or sensation, to just be passing through. Or if there's a pulsing, dominant sensation in the body or the mind, just letting that have a way of being heard. Letting the breath be with it. And just letting it evolve, dissolve, relax. Think of your body-mind as a glass of muddy water, and you're just allowing all of the sediment to slowly take its time to come towards the bottom of the glass. Like a filtering system. And where possible, being mostly in the sensing, not needing to analyze or catch or understand anything you're experiencing. Just letting it drop like an anchor down into the earth. And notice wherever your hands are on your body, resting on your thighs or your belly or your heart. And just notice the sensation, the warmth from your hands into your body. And as you notice that warmth, let that warmth expand from your contact, your touch, into whatever body part your hands are in contact with. Letting the warmth of your palms and your fingers radiate into your body. These hands that are gentle and loving, supportive and caring, nurturing, that hold things dearly, that cradle things with care, that give comfort and ease. Recognizing the loving power of your own hands. And let that filter through the body like a warm hug. So beautiful. Soft and nourishing. And as you feel the warmth maybe locally where your hands touch the body, allow your breath to assist you, that your inhale somehow gathers that warmth and transfers and extends it to more of you. And feel the body receive. And notice if there's any effort in this, and let that soften. And we are always receiving the in-breath, so just think of that natural in-breath supporting you to gather in that warmth of your touch, of your caring. And that is alone enough. And from the warmth of your hands traveling through the body, maybe you can connect it to the heart. And the warmth from your palms, maybe sensing that warmth travel through the wrist, the arms, up into the shoulders, and across into the heart as well. And as you bring that warmth up from the palms into the body and through the arms into the shoulders, You may feel slightly different in your sitting posture, that as the warmth travels up into the shoulders, it softens any tension that's held here. The neck and the head on top of that can be a bit more relaxed. And through the warmth, we're reassuring the body that it is safe. We're reassuring the mind that it is safe. We are reassuring ourselves, I am safe. I am cared for. It is safe for me to relax into my body. It is safe for me to relax into this moment. Lovely. And staying in that. So this is our first tool of the day. Coming into this reassurance, this place of safety that's really important for allowing ourselves to really ground any energy that is activated so that we can move from our sympathetic nervous system, this fight or flight response, and through this awareness of our body, our breath, the warmth of our hands, our ability to soothe ourselves, we're able to ground any anxious tension, excitement, and give it a place to go, to settle, like the glass of muddy water coming to land. And also feeling how as you do this, your posture can change, your skin can soften. And adding to that, I want you to be as is comfortable for you. So if you find that there's a little more thought on a given day that's taking you a little further out of your body, and we can practice it now, you can take your right hand and gently bring it onto your heart. And the left hand can be where it feels good for you. It's nice to have it on the knee or the lower body, because that helps root and ground the energy from the upper body. So it's like the earth wire, letting energy dissipate that is moving through the body so that you can come into a place of centering. And when we find that centering, that grounding, then we can have perspective of our true nature, the stillness within, and from here being able to work throughout, have greater perspective of whatever's going on for us. But this is our grounding. This is the first place we want to move to really help ourselves. So with the hand on the heart, just feel that same warmth in contact with your heart. heart radiates an electric field so strong, and it radiates all around us. So the tip of just bringing your hand to your heart at any time is similarly soothing and reassuring for the heart, especially in times where it feels vulnerable. It needs some TLC, and it needs to feel safe and held. So with the hand on the heart, we're going to rest into that for a moment. And if for any given day the heart doesn't feel like the place that the hand wants to be, trust that intuition and let the hand be where it feels good for you. Always trust your instinct. And as you feel the heart there, the hand, the warmth of the hand coming through the chest, notice how your breath comes to meet it, how there may be tingles through the body. Perhaps a sense of melting or bubbling in the skin. And think of that warmth moving through the skin, the bone, the tissues. And think of the body as energy in its rawest form, this dance of energy that the body really is. And the warmth of your hand is creating this chemical reaction, this love energy that is sending a beautiful ripple of light and care through the skin, the bones, into the cells. And feel the front of the body in contact with that. And feel the center of the body receiving the warmth and the love of the hands. And facilitate it by your breath. On your inhale, feel that this nurturing energy from your hands can travel all the way to the back of your body. Filling front, middle, back. And as you exhale, allowing that to travel anywhere in the body where it's needed. And just keeping that sense from the heart, front, middle, back as you breathe in. And as you exhale, just letting that nurturing travel through the body. And just keep practicing that. Front, middle, back on your inhale. On your exhale, letting it find a home in your body-mind. And as you may get a sense of the back of the body, it's a similar sensation as when you get a really great hug and the arms wrap around your body and you can feel this loving contact of arms around the back of your body, hands on the back of your body. And maybe that image can help you breathe a little deeper into the back of the body. And maybe you can even imagine your own arms wrapping around. And of course you can do that too if that helps. And having that other hand lower down on the body, It's just reassuring, it's grounding you, it's kind of reassuring the heart. It's kind of the strength within the softness. The reassurance within the letting go. Lovely. And another level to this soothing touch is to move the hands around the body. And in the moment now, you're going to just think, is there somewhere else that would love some touch? Your hands are lovely and warm now. So if it feels that you're called to move a hand somewhere else, knees, hips, belly, whatever feels right for you, lower back, head, you can let your hands for a moment. See if they wish to be somewhere else. And it may be that the hand at the heart stays, it becomes the consistent anchor. And maybe the lower hand is the one that moves somewhere different. Or it could be the opposite, that the lower hand stays and the upper hand moves. So just explore that for yourself for a moment. Letting the hand be however long on a certain body part. And again, feeling into the nourishing warmth, the loving energy, into your own touch. And if it's a sense of tight shoulders or neck, maybe your arm wraps around the neck or over the shoulder on the opposite side, whatever feels comfortable. And all the while you're letting the warmth be absorbed, and then the breath to guide that warmth deeper. And our awareness is helping us stay grounded. Follow our experience. And then if there's one last place you wish to go or be, and it can be nice to finish with a hand on the belly and a hand on the heart. Two areas of instinct, our gut instinct and our heart-led choices. Just letting them be in conversation with each other, that these parts of us can lead us in our decision making. And then from here, just gently circle the hands here like a loving touch. And then let's bring those hands to the lower back and just gentle rub of the lower back, always a place that is soothing for people to feel into. And then you're going to bring your right hand onto your left palm, and we're going to do a practice now called Nadi Shodhana. So I mentioned the sympathetic nervous system, the part of us that is when it's activated, nervous or anxious or worried, it becomes fast and rapid. Our breathing, our circulation of our blood, our activation of our muscles, things get turned on, ready for something, be it a fight or a flight response. So we want to move from this place, and I find this an amazing quick tip to do that. So we're moving from sympathetic to parasympathetic, that aspect of us that allows healing and a deep sense of well-being in the body. So let's take our right hand to our left, And as we inhale, we're slowly applying the soothing touch that we've been working with all the way up the hand to the shoulder, nice and slow, all the way across the heart, nourishing, loving touch. And then we're going to change hands so that both hands touch the heart, and then this time the left arm is going to go down the right. So you're slowly coming up one arm as you inhale, both hands at the heart, and you change hands, and then the other hand goes down the arm on the left. So inhale up the left, exhale down the right, nice and slow. Inhale up the right, exhale down the left. And keep going as you are, applying the touch, the breath, feeling the warmth like a hug into the body, all the bits before helping you. That idea of front, middle, back of the heart, receiving and feeling the body. And as we breathe in, we're slowing down our breath. And as we breathe out, again, we're prolonging our breath, making it a little longer. And when we prolong our exhale, this is also a technique for calming down the body and moving from sympathetic into parasympathetic. And when we're moving from the left side of the body, we want to also finish on the left side of the body. So the left side of the body represents the calming energy. If we wanted to do the opposite and activate the body or get a lot of energy into ourselves, we would begin on the right side and finish on the right. So wherever you are, we're going to find an end to this. So the next time that you're breathing up through the right arm, just notice all that you feel. Loving kindness. And then as you exhale, whenever it is that you come down the left arm again, just let the palms stay in contact with each other. And you can keep them together. And then bring the two palms in. Just notice how you feel after doing this practice. And just notice the thumbs in contact with the chest bone. And so in any moments of anxiety or worry or mental chatter or overwhelm, first step, touch. Find contact with the body and allow that to guide you into the sensation of the body. Allow that to ground you, earth you, take you out of the head, into the body. And so in this position now, after doing the breath work, which would be a follow-on, so after you feel grounded, applying the soothing touch, the contact of your own hands, as you've seen, it can be so simple, just bringing the hands to the heart. But the difference is our awareness, just allowing ourselves to feel the warmth, allow the breath to nourish us, slow us down. And so in this position, we're feeling the chest bone through the contact of the thumbs on the sternum. And just softening into this bone in the chest. Just feeling the rib cage, the center line of the chest melting any tension. Often we can grip and hold in our chest. The metaphor of closing the heart whenever we're afraid or concerned. So again, just letting this contact bring awareness into your body. And after that breathing practice, which is called Nadi Shodhana, and I've applied soothing touch to it on top of that, to just make it more nourishing. Now you may feel with the hands in contact with each other and through the activation of the energy from your hands into your body, that there's a lovely balancing between the two palms, like a representation of the two sides of the brain finding harmony. And as you breathe in, just explore this state of balance, because our body obviously needs the yin and the yang, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. And so for a moment now, we're just going to be in appreciation and just gratitude to our body, and just allow that gratefulness and all of your own being, your own self, to settle. And be in what is so precious to you. So in moments where you're feeling that you aren't grounded, coming into those aspects of yourself that you can really rely on. Appreciating your breath, your ability to feel. And noticing the wonder of your own body. And from where you are now, you may like to rest your head in your hands. So cradle and cup your hands and just let your head rest in your hands. And just let yourself empty into the hands. These warm, loving hands that have provided so much care to everyone else in your life. And just allowing the mind to drop into these hands. And taking a few deep breaths into your hands, breathing in. And as you exhale, breathing out. And let your exhale be an open-mouthed breath, like a sigh. Just letting anything filter through the breath, through the sound. Sound is amazing for releasing any tension. And just let your breath exhale into the hands. Exhale that warmth from the breath out into the hands and just let go. Another maybe 2 deep exhales, letting go and letting go. And then slowly take your fingertips and brush them across your eyebrows. And just take that gentle pressure from the center line out across the eyebrows. So you're going from the inside out, down towards the temple. And just feel like you're opening a space here. Like pulling back the curtains of the mind, gathering more perspective. And also because this is where we can hold our tension when mental overwhelm can come in, and just allowing this touch to help reassure us, remind us that we are not our thoughts, and that we are empowered with so much skill and love to help ourselves. So from doing this gentle pressure across the eyebrows now, just bring it all the way down to your chin, this touch all the way down to the tip of the chin, and then bring it up the bridge of the nose, out across the eyebrows, and slowly down. Nice solid touch. And the next time you come back up, you're going to let the index fingers come all the way up, so they come higher into the forehead, and they pull the curtains back. They brush all along the forehead and then back down. Up the bridge of the nose, open the curtains, and all the way down. And just notice how that feels. And maybe one more time. Good. And then bring your fingertips, just wiggle your fingers and bring them into your hairline and run your fingers through your head, your hair. And just feel the contact of your fingertips in your hair, this soothing, clear, grounding touch. And if you're someone that for some reason doesn't like that, then maybe a warm hug, wrapping your arms around the body might feel better. So when we have mental tension, coming into this contact and reminding us that we're more than our thoughts is very effective. And then lastly, if you have a tension headache and you feel that the tension of the thoughts is affecting your jaw, your eyes, your ears, etc. So you take your fingertips, run them through your hair, and then you do a gentle squeeze like you're pulling your hair, and just give a squeeze, and this lets the circulation, when you release, just extend more through the scalp, and it's a sense of relief. So pull, gently squeeze and pull. It should feel good. So if it's not, then release your pressure and then let go. Just feel the, it's like the skin radiates. And once more. Great. So there's some great tips there. And so we're going to take a break now. So I want you to go have a cup of tea, whatever you need, and I'll see you in 10 minutes. So we're going to do a focusing practice now. So it's nice to do this sitting because it allows a bit more of your awareness to be present. And just getting comfortable in your position, just notice where your sit bones are in contact with the floor. Is there more weight into one side of your hip than the other side? Notice where your feet are in contact with the floor, the surface of your skin. And notice the contact of your clothing against your belly or your shoulders. The warmth of your hands against your body. And not changing anything, just noticing the movement of your breath in your body. And without changing anything, just noticing how your breath is. So our breath is always an indication of where we're at. When it's fast and it's rapid, there's high levels of anxiety in the body. When it's shaky and like a whirlwind, it's also a representation of what emotions maybe we're experiencing. And so rather than doing a breathing practice to try and calm that down now, we just want to observe what is. And at different times of the day, our breathing changes. So being with what is now, just notice your breath, notice the quality of it. And notice whatever sensations are happening in your body. And rather than catching into stories of maybe there's an area of pain or tension or ache, and maybe there's a story attached to that, trying to just stay in the sensation. The sensation that is the root of everything. So we're dropping through the layers of thought, story, past or future. And we're dropping under that like the layers of an onion. And we're coming into the sensation that characterizes your experience. And so within the sensation, dropping a layer underneath that thought or emotion, just notice what's happening for you in this moment and allow your awareness to fix on whatever is most prominent. And fix maybe isn't the best word, but just allow your awareness to be there. So fix implies something isn't changing or that you have to do something to change it. I just want you to let your awareness be there. And in your mind, just think of a word to describe the quality you're feeling. For example, that could be jumpy, confused. And we're referring to the sensation. So whatever word, maybe the word is purple, whatever describes it for you. And I have you all on mute, so you can do this practice. I want you to say out loud where possible, I feel, and just give a name to whatever you're feeling. And let yourself be surprised. So if your attention suddenly goes to your lower back as you say the words I feel, then trust that. So I'll give you an example. So I feel jittery in the right side of my chest. So just say whatever is your experience, knowing that you're muted and no one else can hear you. And when you say it out loud, it has an effect that is much greater than saying it inside. It makes it something that's clear. Clear acknowledgement of how you feel. And then I want you to listen in again to that sensation and just notice if there's any changes, and repeat the phrase in your new experience. So I feel a throbbing towards the front of my chest. I feel a lengthening on the right side of my chest. And keep going in this way, saying I feel, and relating constantly to what your current now experience is. And just notice and allow it to have space to change. I feel tightness in the side of the ribs, the lower ribs on the right. I feel, keep going, saying I feel. And even if it's hard for you to do this, say the words and just try and let whatever your intuition brings you to. And so in doing this practice, it's like a child being heard that's been vying for your attention. And when something is acknowledged, it means that it can shift. And so just allow yourself to explore this and to see that this is possible. And if something feels like it's not changing, then go deeper and notice the subtleties of what is changing. The softness on the outer edge of my rib. sense of space in, the very detailed, nuanced. Focus on what is creating space, encouraging this childlike, vulnerable nature that can be a seat of tension or pain or emotion. And as I said, we're going into the sensation of it, so we're bypassing the mental chatter and story that really distracts us from healing, and we're allowing ourselves to be in the sensation with our full awareness, giving it space. And at this stage, you can try this practice lying down. It's good to start sitting just because the mind tends to be a little clearer. So if you want to lie down now, feel free. Just make sure you're comfortable. Maybe you'd like cushions underneath your knees or your head, a blanket over you. And lying down, you have a greater surface area against the floor. And so we're going to tune into the body. Once you're lying, just feel the whole breath nourishing you from your heels to your hips, to your heart. And as you exhale, just let the weight of the body drop down into the floor. And your next inhale nourishes you from the heels to the hips, to the heart, to the head. And then slowly letting all these body parts rest and drop down and settle into the floor, earthing. And then from here, turning the ear of the body on, so you're not limited to your little ears, just turn the whole body into a listening ear and find a point in the body that is calling to you. So on a given day, it may be that there's a persistent thought or emotion. So you would start with this place, and from here you look underneath the bonnet of that thought or emotion. How does that feel in the body? What is the experience of this in the physical body? And feeling into your body now, wherever is calling to you. And saying out loud, I feel, and fill in the dots. In whatever words come, don't try and oversee what you say or edit what you say. Just the body-mind processing. Just let it be fluid. It doesn't have to make sense. If you're someone that's very visual, maybe it's, I feel balloons filling my chest. I feel water in my toes, Explore all the different ways you can describe this feeling. I feel a darting pressure into my spine. And then being with whatever you're experiencing, just letting there be space there. I feel a warm, pulsing sensation. I feel. And if you're shy about using your voice, then this is the perfect chance and time to use your voice. So go for it, even if it's a whisper. And on another level, you are hearing yourself. And that has a way for you to get an extra sense and layer of perspective on your experience. So it's like reality checking. So when I teach this workshop in a group, I would do this in partners. And so one person says, I feel a pulsing, achy sensation in my middle back. So we're trying to be specific. We're describing it and then we're placing it. And then the partner would say, you feel a pulsy, aching sensation in your middle back. Repeating verbatim what they say. And in that sense, there's this feeling of being heard, of being acknowledged, and listening to your own words back to you gives you this perspective. So by you doing it out loud by yourself, and you can do this in your car, it's a great place to do this. You're partnering yourself. And just feel how the sensation changes without you doing anything. And allow yourself the permission to really surrender into this practice. Trusting your own self. I feel. And it may be that maybe something was feeling like square and rigid, and then it shifts into something spherical and moving, and then into something dissolving. I feel it's shape-shifting. And just in the last few moments, just try and find a resolution of wherever you are now. I feel. And it is nice to add your touch from the practices before, this adding your soothing touch to any body part that you may be working with. And just allow that to have an additional support to your practice. I feel more space to let go. I feel more of myself, whatever it may be. And saying your last one out loud and just let it resonate. I feel. And then letting that practice dissipate and just stay with the touch and just recognizing the power. And with gratitude, the fact that you do feel. And that through this feeling, we can access healing. Releasing. And changing states within the body. So with gratitude to our incredible body and your awareness, because that's what makes this practice possible. You're now going to let yourself be nourished. Maybe you want to have more contact, a rub of the hands on the belly, the heart. Wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself a hug. Rub your arms, your chest, your hips, your legs, whatever feels nice for you. And then have a deep breath in, and then exhale and just let the whole body melt into the floor. And you have the option for the lower back, if you feel better, having your feet planted on the floor and having your knees resting in against each other. That may feel nice. So find what feels good for you. And once you're lying down in your favored position, using your pillows and your blanket to support you, you want to inhale and exhale, drop into the body. And I'm going to guide you into the next practice. Grounding into the earth. And we're going to come into the sensations of the body deeper. building further awareness of your body so that you can really resource this feeling, sensation, and allow it to assist you in letting go of any tension at any time, just knowing that you lie down, you use your awareness, and you can enjoy this practice. Great to do before bed as well. So feeling the points of contact on the floor. Just scan through the body, and if your feet are planted on the floor, you've got the soles of your feet on the floor, the back of the pelvis on the floor. If you've got your hands on your body, you've got your 2 elbows resting on the floor. You've got your 2 shoulder blades on the floor, and you've got the back of the skull on the floor. So all of these points of contact. And I want you to drop down to the feet. And we're going to move through these points. So we're going to start with the feet. And I want you to go and zoom into your big toe. And I want you to feel into your big toe. Breathe into your big toe on both sides of your feet. And I want you to feel the quality in your big toe. We start with the toes because there's so much tension in our foot that we genuinely probably have never felt. So when we go here, the feet, like in reflexology, are incredibly effective in releasing tension in all other parts of the body. So the big toe. Feel into the skin of the toe, the big toes. Can you sense the nail, tip of your toe, the underside of your toe? And can you feel all of the space in between? And is there a tightness, a pulling, a tension? And can you, in this moment, exaggerate your awareness of it? Turn the volume of it up so that you really feel it. Maybe you feel connection from the front of the foot or the ankle into the toe or the calf. Feel it. Intensify it, and then exhale and just let it dissipate, let it soften. See, can you drop that into the floor if your feet are standing? Drop it. Drop it down. Lovely. And then let's go to the second toe on both feet and feel the surface area of the second toe. Very different quality in our second toe. Is there a rigidity, a stiffness? Can you feel the underside of the toe, the front side? And can you turn up the volume to feel any tension? And breathe into that, really feel it. And then as you exhale, let that go. And then let's go to the third toe and notice how the third toe feels. Feeling all of the tension that could be there. Whatever you're feeling is perfect. Maybe you're feeling a softness in this toe that was different to the other toes. And breathing into it, feeling it, magnifying it, and then let it go. Consciously just let it go, like an exhale. And then coming into the fourth toe on both sides, feeling into it, breathing into it, a little more intensifying, trying to feel more into this toe, but as you get towards the end toes, it's not as intense typically, so don't worry if you don't feel too much. Breathe in. The more you do this practice, the more sensitive you'll be, and you'll be able to tune in quicker and more fully, and breathe into it, and then exhale, let that go. Let go of any of the connection from that toe into the foot. And then the little toe on both sides. The poor little toe has been stubbed maybe many a time, so there could be a numbness there. Can you breathe into the little toe and maybe feeling into the side of the foot, the outside of your foot? Breathing into it, feel its sensitivity, and And on your exhale, let it go. Nice. And then let all the toes breathe in, feel them all, and as you exhale, let them all dissipate down. And feel any tension in the connection points of the ball of the foot, the underside of the ball of the foot into the toe, and the upper side of your foot. And then let that go. And then come into the arch of the foot. Feel into that. And let that go. And just feeling into any tension, tightness, holding, gripping. And softening. Consciously, just let it go. And the heel, the ankle. And let that go. And then traveling through the legs to the hips, the lower back, breathing into the back of the body, feeling across the back of the sacrum. Again, this awareness. So we're looking under, we're dropping through any pain or story or emotion. We're dropping under it and we're being in the sensation, the pure sensation. Feeling it, what is the experience here, turning up the volume a little, feeling what's there, acknowledging it, grateful for the lessons and the awareness it brings, and then as you exhale, feel the ground beneath you like a magnet pulling down anything that does not serve you. Give yourself permission to let go. And then travel up through the spine, dropping each of the vertebrae into the floor and come to the shoulder blades, the two shoulder blades. Breathing into the shoulder blades, feeling any holding, gripping. And just feeling into them as they're in contact with the floor and allowing yourself to drop them deeper into the floor, letting go. And then feel how the shoulders, the front of the shoulders can relax. And coming into the arms, the elbows, wherever is in contact with the floor, and feeling them dissipate down. Exhaling, letting it go. And then traveling through the neck, softening each vertebrae as you come into the skull. Feeling the two sides of the skull. Breathing into the back of the skull. Any sensation. Allowing space for it to be felt and noticed. And in this whole practice, we're not judging anything that comes up. We're just allowing ourselves to be with what is. Because that's where the shifts can happen. When we are so authentically, lovingly being with what is, then through that acknowledgement and that awareness, something can change. And at the same time, not having any expectations or pressures or trying or effort. Let it all go. And it's a good place to mention it when we're in the head, because that's where we create all these concepts of being good, of doing it right. Let it all go and find so much joyous freedom in the permission of letting everything go. I want you to be empty, drop every thought, sensation, feeling, expectation, thought of the future or the past. Let everything go and think of the back of the head like a tap, and you're turning on the tap and everything's streaming out the back of the head. Because whatever is important will always be there for you when you come back after this deep rest practice. Feel the whole body now dropping down, letting go. Letting go of everything. The pores of the body opening, the magnet of the earth pulling down. letting the sensation of the body open and have space to release. Remembering that all thoughts and emotions, underneath them all, there is sensation. Underneath that sensation is vibration. Underneath that is just this pure energy dancing in the body. So as we let that energy settle down into the earth and this grounding practice, we're balancing, we're finding a harmony. We're emptying the trash, because tension is something that we hold in our body, we keep, we grip, we store. But in this practice, we're allowing ourselves to let go. So I hope you feel the benefit of this now, and perhaps you want to rest here for another few minutes, or if you're listening to this before you go to sleep, you'll be having a deep, deep rest, healing and nourishing sleep. So whatever you feel like, honor that. And when you feel like you want to come back and sit up, first of all, just bring your hands to come into contact with your body, apply the soothing touch, rubbing the heart and the belly, and then curl up onto one side of your body, roll to the side, and then gently come to a seated position. And as you come up to sitting, breathing into your heart. And then exhaling, bowing your head and just thanking yourself for this dedication of your time, your energy, and your compassion for yourself. Because this is where true healing and lasting, sustainable self-care happens. Because that nourishing potential is always in you. So these skills are skills for life. So give yourself a hug, wrap your arms around you, and thank you for being with me today for all of these practices, and I hope you find them beneficial and helpful to you. So namaste.